Yes. Good evening, and thank you very much, Pilar, for the invitation. And thank you also to the EIF for the engagement, always in this topic. As Pilar said, it's not the first time that the EIF is discussing this topic, but it is always a very good opportunity for discussion. So let me start from the objective of the evening, which is to say, is the European Union going to be able to be a leader in AI as much as China and the United States are? Because, of course, when you read the news nowadays, it's all about the superpowers in AI, and the European Union is hardly mentioned in these articles normally. And still, when the European Commission published the European approach to AI back in April 2018, it did say Europe wants to be a leader in AI and wants to be, in particular, to be a leader in advanced technologies that are actually human-centric. So basically, Europe stated for itself the objective of being very competitive in the development of AI, and at the same time making sure that those developments are actually, let's say, ethical by design, and so that we can make sure that you consumers can trust the technology and can use the technology, avoiding all the harmful effects that this technology can actually bring if it is misused. As I say, if it is misused, because actually we very much count on the benefits that AI can bring in the area of healthcare, in helping us fighting climate change, a better environment, better, less car accidents on the streets, and so on. The examples are many, many about the benefits that AI can bring. But as I said earlier, it is very important that Europe doesn't lag behind other parts of the world in the development of technology in this field. And you may have read even the Financial Times I was reading when I was coming here now from Paris, and I was reading about Facebook developing its own AI chips. And you see the big platforms which are now almost vertically integrating and building even their AI hardware. So in a way, they are in front of us not only for the development of AI itself and AI software, but also in the development of what is the hardware for AI. And this is a very important topic that touches also on sovereignty issues that we should keep in mind. But let me return to the European approach to AI. So we want to be competitive. That means that we want to raise our investment levels. And we have stated our ambition. We want to spend 20 billion euros by the end of, in the 3 years, 18-20, and we want to make sure that the European Union will be spending 20 billion euros per year in the next decade. And when I mention these amounts, I count investment by the European Commission, investment by the member states, and investment by the private sector. But how can we get there? We have, at the European Commission, we have increased our investment in research and development in AI. For the period 2018-2020, we are reaching an average of about 500 million euros per year in AI-related investment, and we hope that member states can do the same. But in the future, we have to do more. We have Horizon Europe, and artificial intelligence will be an important element of Horizon Europe, and we have the Digital Europe program. Now, why do we say that these programs are so important? Horizon Europe is the research framework program, and of course we need to do more research in AI, and what we want to leverage is the typical European approach that we can create AI research networks, excellence in AI across Europe. I've just come back from a meeting in France where everybody was talking about the research excellence in France, which is a reality in France as it is in other countries. But what we have to do is to federate this research together. And it seems obvious, this is what the research framework has always been doing, but in this particular area, we are only at the beginning, really. So we are going to make the first calls already next year, and we really count on our ability to federate research excellence in AI. But then we have to help bring in innovation faster to the market. And one of the most important things that matter for AI is our ability to experiment and test innovative solutions. This is an expensive activity. This is a risky activity. And so we have in the Digital Europe program, which is a new program proposed by the European Commission, which found the partial agreement from the Council, meaning that the Council and the Parliament have agreed on the content of what the program proposes, but the budget will be decided at a later stage. And in this program, we have particularly highlighted our intention to invest in testing and experimentation facilities in artificial intelligence, as well as in the development of AI data platforms. This is extremely important exactly because we want to make sure that there are synergies between member states and there are synergies between infrastructures that can provide this kind of testing and experimentation facilities. And then we want to help bring in artificial intelligence to the small, medium enterprises. To do that, we propose to finance and strengthen digital innovation hubs that have a competence in artificial intelligence and that can really go out and help small, medium enterprise to transform and adopt AI so as to digitize and transform their business. To enhance the use of AI, we also need appropriate skills. The lack of talent at the moment is one of the competitive barriers that we have to the development of artificial intelligence. This is very much an activity for member states to undertake. A lot of people come to us and ask the European Commission to put money on the table for education and retraining of the workforce. But this is really very much, as I said, a competence that pertains to the member states. So we intend to do certain things. We intend with the Digital Europe program to support, for example, short-term training courses or boot camps for AI, so as we can attract more people to AI. We also want to support some master courses financially, especially for girls in AI. But the modernization of the education system is up to the member states, and this is really something that we should collectively push for, because, in my opinion, it's something that I see kind of being slowly implemented at the level of member states. So we have identified a number of actions that we can do together with the member states, and only working together, we can actually make sure that we are in a continent that can really leverage the excellencies that we have, from the research center to our strong industry. We have a very strong robotics sector. We have a strong, say, automobile sector and other sectors of the economy that use artificial intelligence and can be drivers of the developments in Europe. And so, in a way, we very much hope to make the difference in the business area. We don't really need to be competing with the big platforms that in reality for the moment we don't have, but we can really make the difference in the industrial sectors, because that is the strength of Europe. And then the other strength of Europe, as it was reminded earlier, is our ability to leverage also the trust in the technology. We have done that with the GDPR, and with artificial intelligence, we also have to be careful and pay attention, because, of course, the harmful use of the technology, as you know, can bring also unexpected consequences. So we have tasked a group of high-level experts. We have 52 high-level experts. 2 of them are present here in this round table, and maybe they will tell you more about the work that they're doing. They have published the first draft of guidelines on trustworthy AI. It is very important that the guidelines are not so much on ethics, but they're on trustworthy AI, because they will explain you how trust is really the objective that we have in the development and the use of artificial intelligence. And they're revising these guidelines now. We had an open consultation. More than 500 comments were received. You're still in the process of analyzing these comments, but they will be producing a final version of the guidelines that will be presented to the European Commission on the 9th of April. So I'm sure that they will want to give you more information about the guidelines themselves in the next talks. And yes? Oh my God, maybe I should. I don't know. I give them this very good opportunity. So thanks a lot, have a good dinner, and help us in making AI a competitive and trustworthy reality for Europe. Thank you very much.